Hello and welcome to Nitro Talk. Today we are I haven't done a Todd's Tours in a while, collection video. Still got a couple more to go. And today we are going to be doing the servo collection here. This is not part of the servo collection. This is an absolutely gorgeous, near this is investment grade right here, right? This is very, very good condition. All original RC10 GT2. Now I have done a video. It was actually, I went back, I didn't remember exactly what I had done. I'd done a video on another RC10 GT, and then kind of at the end of that video, we took a look at this one. Why I have it out today, I was actually, I pulled it out and like, you know what, let's fire something up. I was like, let's fire this thing up. It's good to give an engine a fire every now and then. And this is one of the reasons why it's good to give an engine a fire every now and then, to prevent this from happening. This thing has locked up from sitting. Now I did run it out of fuel. I didn't leave fuel in it. I did the proper maintenance procedures, but it wasn't disassembled. It was ran, and then some of my proprietary after run oil blend, proprietary, and it's sat for over a year, so it has frozen up. Now it's not frozen ups, gum ups can vary in degrees. I'm sure this isn't I'm sure I could put a couple drops of fuel in the glow plug hole and in the carb and have this thing freed up really easily. But I'm not going to do that today. But let's go ahead and pop this head off and take a look, just for giggles. Have I mentioned, if you're into nitro engines, nitro vehicles, anything at all to do with the nitro side of the RC hobby, clutch bells would count for that. If you are an absolute clutch bell fanatic, actually, I might have a video for you. I got a very large clutch bell collection. Please give me a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And also, before we pop that head off, real quick, one more thing. All right, now I'm going to ask a favor here. Speaking of collections, right, we're going to take a look at the servo collection today. On the subject of collections, I was going through a closet the other day, and I am a collector. Yes, I'm a nitro collector, but I also collect other things. I have the collecting bug, as it were. One of the other things I collect, I kind of saw and like, hey, I haven't. When you collect something, you really need to be able to enjoy it, right? Our nitro vehicles, engines, we can run them, we can enjoy them. Stuff like, and when I was a kid, I collected baseball cards, but I don't collect baseball cards anymore. But I wonder, people who collect baseball cards, yeah, I guess if it's worth something, that's good, but can you really enjoy a baseball card collection, right? You all you can really do is look at them, right? Buy them, sell them, but as far as enjoying them, all you can really do is look at them. And I'm sure people who have nice baseball card collections spend plenty of time looking at them. That is how you enjoy a collection like that. I am taking the long way around to get to this. One of my other collections is a collection of white sneakers. Brand new white sneakers. Kind of a holdover from my younger years. I used to, uh, I guess, dress fashionably for the 90s. And I loved my white sneakers, right? And I kind of always have, and throughout the years, I've collected a few pairs. But seeing as how they're brand new, I can't really wear them, right? But I can look at them, right? That's where I'm going. Boy, I'm long-winded today. I'm like, all right, I want to pull out, right, this collection and put my eyes on it, right? Take a look at this stuff. And then I thought, hey, why not make a video? But here's the thing. This Nitro channel, I'm sure probably 95 to 99, who knows, percent of y'all could care less about some vintage-ish, some vintager than others, white sneaker collection. But maybe someone would like to look at it. But here's what I'm saying. I got no one else to show. I got no other audience. Y'all are my audience. I do actually want to make another YouTube channel where I do reviews of other things. Like, I like showing things and talking about them. But anyways, I don't have that now. So here's what I'm asking. Give me an excuse. Give me a reason to make this sneaker video. All I need is one person down in the comments to say, yes, I would love to see your super dope and fresh white sneaker collection. You don't have to use the same verbiage as I do, but if you can do that, then I got a good excuse to make the video, and I can do it. On that note, we're going to move here very, very shortly. Let me give you a little taste, just a little taste, so you can know what I'm talking about. You're like, what's he talking about? I mean, you know what white sneakers are, but let me give you an idea what I'm talking about, right? Here we are with some fresh, very, very fresh Adidas in white with the blue stripe. And here we are with a very, very classic Reebok Classic in high top, white on white. And last one, like I said, just a taste. The very, very fresh white on white BKs, the British Knights. Anyone like to take a look at some white sneakers? Moving on. All right. RC10 GT2, and a very, very beautiful example. Like I said, I did show this before. If anyone would like to see a full video on this, maybe even a run video, although I want to try to keep this as pristine as possible. Like I said, this is all original and cherry. I can make another full video, get a little bit more in-depth on this one. All right, let's go ahead and pop this off, and then we'll get to the servos, and hopefully this won't be an hour-long video. Now, these are 2mm, right? Yes. 2mm. Just going to pop this off and take a peek ski under the cooling head here. See, now, if there's a big, glob of oil in there, and it's looking all shiesty, then that's not good. We'll see how it was put up, basically. I wonder what kind of plug that is in there. All right, last one. I have not yet done a Associated Pro 15 on my channel, so that also is something that needs to get done. All right, we got a head shim there. Certainly, well, I'm going to have to take and blow this off. See that some dust, sand, actually, around the outside, not inside the chamber, of course. Chamber looks beautiful. Just a very slight color from the fuel. But looking good. Otherwise, let me give this a quick spritz. Alright, gorgeous. And down in here, it actually, now that, is that my after run? I mean, doesn't really, there is a, as you can see around the lip there is a, some oil, but the top of the head looks nice. Doesn't look bad in there, just does have some oil in it. But like I said, this could be freed up very easily, but this isn't that video. We're going to move on. We're going to take a look at these servos. Try not to be all night with this one. But yeah, it doesn't look bad in there at all. It needs to be the proper thing to do. The whole, that's a good thing to talk about while I'm putting these screws back on here. The whole thing with just freeing up an engine, right? Just the situation exactly like this. You have an engine that's mounted to a vehicle, and that engine has froze up. You can free it on the vehicle. Put some fuel down the glow plug hole, or take the head off and put it directly inside. A few drops down the carburetor, and you can get her spinning and running. Now, that's not the optimal way to do it. Optimal way would be to remove the engine from the chassis and disassemble it and clean it and lubricate it properly before putting it back together. Now, because this engine is as new, as near new as it is, good a shape as it is, I probably will. Like I said, I haven't done a Pro 15, so that'd be a good opportunity to, open up and take a look at it. And because it's what it needs, I'm not going to loosen her up, just loosen her up with the fuel. We'll do a rebuild, and we'll take a look at the Pro 15. Anyways, that's back on there. Throw the body on here. This is something I used to do. I've done a few. That's another thing we can rap about real quick. Throughout the years, I've done a few things with my antennas. Of course, going back to the days when this style, the long antenna, 2749 megahertz. I've done various things with my the leftover antenna wire. I used to, and this was my thing for a long time. I don't know where I picked it up, but I did pick it up, and I did it for quite some time on these style antennas. I did the piggy tail. I would take the wire, take a thin something, wrap it around real tight. Am I in camera? Wrap the wire real tight around something, hold it for a second, and then let it go. And you'd have like a coil hanging off of there, right? Now, my thinking was antennas, coils, right? It's going to like increase the signal. And also, it's not hanging in the way, and it kind of looks cool, depends. And then for a while, I was doing this. I was using heat shrink and running the excess down. There's the end of it there, and putting heat shrink on it with a cap. And that's pretty much what I do now. It's just shorter with the 2.4 gigahertz. I usually don't heat shrink it, but I always keep a cap on it. All right, enough of that. Where are we at? 15 minutes of BS ain't bad. We're getting to the servos here. pretty timely, I would say. All right, let's talk about, you may say, servos, they're not really directly related to nitro, but I would argue that a nitro person has more responsibility or right, whatever, to talk about servos because they are twice as important to us as they are to an electric vehicle. Our vehicles have two, electric vehicles have one. So servos are certainly something very important to a nitro vehicle, a nitro enthusiast. Duh, what the heck am I talking about? Now, also, before we get in here, I think I've mentioned this before on other collections I've shown. This is obviously my spare servo collection. All of my vehicles have servos in them as well, of various types and grades. So these are my spare servos. All right. Should we go ahead and get into it? I guess no reason not to. Should we do the box ones first or save them? I guess let's save them for a little bit. We'll go ahead and knock out those. These are what I am currently running in my vehicles. These are the high-tech D955TW and D954SW, titanium gear, steel gear, but they have the exact same specs. At 7.4 volt, of course, I run high voltage servo. We got 0.12 seconds and 29 kilograms. As far as I'm concerned, that is all you need. That is lovely. I guess I wouldn't mind it a bit faster, although I tell you what, it's not like I can tell that it's plenty fast for me. Just that number, you know what I mean? I guess that number could be lower, but it feels beautiful. 29 kilograms, that is plenty of torque. These here, the reason why I think I have like a total of 3 and 3 of these, because I got a good deal buying in bulk. They have on eBay, groups, lots of servos, and you can get a better deal if you need that. Not often will you need $600 servos. These are $100 servos. Get a little better deal when you buy the bulk. But it was time for me to upgrade 2 vehicles, right? So by 6, I can upgrade both vehicles 2 and 2 and have 2 spares here. So that's what I did. Anyways, that's what I'm running currently, these high-techs, and love them. Absolutely love these servos. All right, let's save the rest of this a little bit. Let's just start going through here. The Rage, man, this is, I hope I don't have as long a story for every single one of these. This video is going to take forever. I bought this servo brand new retail at my local hobby shop. And I certainly did not need it. Or it wasn't my local hobby shop. It was a local hobby shop over the town over where I race. I needed a servo, right? For whatever reason, I guess I didn't bring it back. I bring it back up probably ever since this happened. I didn't have a backup servo. Had a servo die, wanted to run, right? So I ran to the nearby hobby shop. And I knew that this was a waste of money, right? It wasn't that expensive. I think it was like $22, something like that. But I knew I wasn't going to like it. But I didn't want to spend like it was this or like $100 for a Futaba. I mean, I think you had like maybe a super cheap S3003. That's a 3004. But you get the S3003 Futaba, the very bottom of the line. That was like $30, right? We're talking brand new at a hobby shop. That or $100 for a decent. But I got servos at the house, right? So I just bought this to use for the day, literally. What were the numbers on it? I don't really remember. It's Metal Gear. It's not fast, maybe 16.17 seconds, something like that. And I think it's rated at like maybe 12 or 15 kilograms. But did not dig it. Ran it that day, and it's been in here ever since. All right. Speaking of, that's, like I said, that's an S3004. I'm not going to be taking all of these out of here. But the S3003 Futaba is your, what's a good correlation with that? That's like is it the Honda Civic of servos, right? It's the most common servo. You find old cars, they have S3000, 3003s in them. They still make them. They've been made them for like 30, 40 years. They still make them to this day. They probably don't give them away with the radio systems anymore. They used to always come with the radio systems. And I tell you what, I used to crap on them, but that airboat I have, if anyone watches my channel, that airboat I tried to get running a couple times, and I will get back to that thing. That has S3003s in it, and it moves. It's got the cables inside a sheath, and it can't be easy to move that thing through there, and it moves those things good. So Futaba does make really good stuff. So that the 3004 is one up from 3003. It's like a little bit stronger or faster, or maybe a little both. But I guess one up from the base 3003. All right, I know exactly what that is. I can look over and see. That is the Hexfly servo, which was the stock servo in the Red Cat Aftershock 3.5, which I tell you what, I enjoyed that thing. I know, yes, it is a piece of crap, but I drove that thing for a while. It was a few years ago I had it. I think I probably still got some parts or a chassis somewhere. But I ran the heck out of that thing. And I, of course, upgraded the servos. That was the stock servo that came in it. Another easy to spot one is Savox, waterproof, water resistant, whatever. Not a very nice one, like a somewhere near mid-level, low to mid-tier as far as specs. There's one that I had shown this in my RC Gimmicks video, and I love it. It sucks that it's like a very, very cheap bottom of the line servo. Super slow, super weak. So you can't really use it for anything. But I love that clear case. It's good to, it's like a demo servo, right? You can look inside and see how it works. There's the potentiometer. There's the motor, gear set, little circuit board on the bottom. You can see exactly what's in there. I always like that servo. Sucks that it sucks. All right. Oh, I see that. That is the Rovan that I had. I did buy the Rovan 5th scale, the HPI Baja knockoff. I had one of those. Oh, man. Should I tell that story? No. I cannot believe. That's like one of the most pivotal, one of the most memorable, one of the best stories of something that has happened to me, RC related, is the story of that Rovan 5B, the HPI Baja clone knockoff. Holy smokes. You know what? I'm not going to tell it right now, But if anyone wants to hear it, let me know. It's a heartbreaker. Oh, man. All right. Let me move past that. This was throttle. I believe this was the throttle servo. I'm not positive on that Rovan Baja knockoff that I replaced. Empty bag. Another Savox SCO254MG. Nothing too special. Here we have a nice servo here. This HS5585MH from High Tech here. I can't recall off the top of my head. I believe this one's pretty quick. I believe this is like a maybe 12 or under second. And it's high voltage. I believe I used to run this on my throttle. I used to run this as a throttle servo. I don't know. I think I just put it away because I had upgraded the combo. But this was a really good servo. Good specs on that one. All right. It begins. Okay. So this is the first of, we're going to see a couple in here that fall in this line, okay? And these are cheap servos with good servo specs, right? And, it's been a couple years. There may be, the cheap servos may have gotten better. A lot of the technology has gotten cheaper and better. So there may be $25 servos that have the same specs as that and do it. That's a tall order. That's a really tall order. But I don't think this had the exactly those good of specs. But especially not this one. I got another JX. This is a JX servo. The 6221MG. This is the lower end one. I believe I have another JX, which is a little better. But I didn't like them. The thing I found about a lot of these cheap servos with really good specs, right? They either do not do those specs. They simply don't do it. They simply don't have that speed and that power. Or they're glitchy and have issues, like that. A good cheap servo is hard to find. That's why I tried this. I tried to save money for a long time, right? Buying this, buying that. And all that money I spent, I should have just, it took me a while to learn, but I did learn eventually. And I spent the money once, right? I've been running, these are the spare ones, the ones that are in the buggies. They've been in there for, I want to say, at least 2 years. And knock on plastic, they are running strong. Very good servos. Love them. All right. So that's JX. We got a no-namer right there. It's weird. It has a serial number on the bottom. But probably the label came off. These labels do come off on servos every now and then. Dragon RC. I don't remember where this came from. But this is kind of along the lines of a, what's that other one? It's a little better than that Rage. And this one actually, the performance of this one was decent. Does this not have there's no number code on that one. But I'm pretty sure, like, you look it up and it's like only one with this sticker or something. Like, I believe you can look this up. The specs aren't too bad, and it did them decently, as far as I remember. You can't expect me to exactly remember everything. I'm trying my best here. But yeah, I think that one was decent. That Dragon RC servo right there. I'll fix that later. All right, there's going to be a holy crap ton of various high-techs in here. Now, this right here is the equivalent to the Futaba S3003. Again, that's 3004, but we'll see a 3003 here shortly. This is the high-tech equivalent, the HS311. Now, that tape is on there for a reason. Oh man, I took the plastic cover off, and it's all shiny. I had that tape on there, dead center. I was doing some kind of test where I had an arm on it. Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was having a test to see a recenter test, right? I put the tape on where it lined up with the servo, and then did stuff and was seeing if it was coming back and recentering properly. But yeah, that's the low end high tech, the one that they used to give away with the 2749 megahertz radios. With the cheap radio sets, you get 2 of these. So yeah, that's the low end high tech. Which is better? Again, I'm talking about the 3003. Which is better, the 3003 or the high-tech? As much as I love high-tech, I probably, if I had to pick one of these, I'd probably go with the 3003. All right, this is the first. We're going to see at least, there's got to be at least 3 of these in here. All right, what is this? This, my friends, is the OSCV of servos, right? The iconic square-headed OSCV engine, right? You see it everywhere. Everybody bought one back in the day. Everybody ran them. They're great, right? Most of them are still kicking, right? It's just all around good classic stuff. But also at the same time, it's classic stuff. It's not enough for me anymore, right? I wonder if some of y'all will say, that's another thing we talk about real quick. You know what brand of servo it is from the wires. That's a high tech, right? It has the black, red, and yellow. We know that the Futaba has the black, red, and white. And then, of course, the Airtronics with its black, red, and blue. So you can always tell, you don't have to look at the plate to tell what brand it is from their wires. So you knew it was a high-tech. Did you know it was an HS645, right? That's how much more class, as far as servos go, right? Servos isn't something that there's really classics. The HS645 is one. If there are classic servos, the HS645 is part of that group. Great servo. It's not enough for me anymore. Once you go, I'll tell you this, once you go to something like this, you can't go back to that. You can love this for years, right? You can respect it. You can dig it. You can swap out stuff like that for that and go, oh my God, I never knew so much power and speed, right? And you can be happy until you get to that ballpark. Once you do that, then the HS645 is inferior, right? You can't go back to that. Great servo. The Ultra Torque HS645, an absolute classic. There's another 311. There, of course, is going to be plenty of doubles in here. Another high-tech, looks like a 311. Yep. That looks like some crappy wires. This is going to be, the old Traxxas 2055. Stock throttle servo, is it? For the T-Max, I believe, 2055. That's another 3004. Surprised I got more of those than... That is what used to come stock in a lot of your OFNA buggies. I believe actually the Hyper 7 that I run. I don't know. I'm not sure. But I'm maybe like the Hyper, the other Hyper, the orange one. Some of the OFNA's buggies come with this SX0001 servo. Now that is a little bit of an older Futaba. That's now it's not old enough to have the real old servos you'll come across. Instead of having female a plug that is a female, it will have a plug that is a male, right? It will have the 3 contacts coming out of the plug. Those are the really old servos. But this FPS 148 or 14B 148 indirect drive servo is a little bit of an older Futaba servo. This is kind of an intermediate. Before I went here, and I think I might have even bought these for something like maybe a touring car. I think these are the very first high voltage servos that I bought. They're lower end. I think I got 2. It's like, I believe the lowest high voltage and then one above it. I don't remember exactly what I got them for. They're not nowhere near enough power for a buggy. But they're certainly much better than the 311. I mean, it's high voltage. It's night and day better than the 311, for sure. Power HD. That's the one I was thinking about when I was talking about the that other one. Now, Power HD, they've been around for a while. They make a crap ton of servos, of all different kinds. And I tell you what, I believe that this is one of the better cheap servos that I bought. I believe it does close to its ratings. Its ratings aren't over the moon. I believe it's 15 kilograms and not super fast, maybe 17 seconds. But it is a good working servo. And I believe I tried running this on high voltage and it worked just fine. I was testing it out, giving it a shot. So yeah, that's one servo that I'm not mad at. It was okay, and it was cheap. It was like $15. The Power HD 1501 MG. King Motors. Yeah, so King Motor is like the competitor to Rovan. They are both knockoffs of the HPI Baja. So this was, and I didn't have a King Motor. I got this somewhere. I don't remember where, but this is probably the throttle servo off of a King Motor HPI Baja knockoff. Now, Ultra Power. Now, this is the older high-tech logo. Again, with we showed the older Futaba logo. Did I really contrast and compare the logos? I don't really think I did. So yeah, that's the older Futaba logo and the newer Futaba logo. And then that's the same for the high-techs. That's the older high-tech logo and then the newer high-tech logo. The 615 MG, I can't really, if it's a lower number, right? 615 is a lower number than 645. But I'm not positive that this has lower specs. I believe it's either very similar or it might even have a better one of the two specs faster or stronger, better than the 645. Something's telling me. I'm not positive, but there's that. Oh man, yeah, yes, I got one of these mofos in here. I almost want to let me see how handy. There, right there it is. My servo tester, and I tell you what, it's a great thing to have. Have I ever shown this on video? I'm not sure if I've ever shown this or talked about this. But this is a little servo tester, and this is great. I love this thing. I have used this thing a ton over the years. I have used this thing a lot. It was a very good investment. So just for giggles, now this, of course, is out of these things, I don't think these are rated 7.4 volts. I don't believe they are. Now you see how you can turn it and it goes. But then once you saw that, and then if you, like certain places, it has a jerk. Just not a good servo. These things were crap. I think I bought like 5 of them. They're literally like $3 a piece, right? They were giving these things away. But for $3 a piece, I think like 3 of them you throw away instantly. They don't work at all. And the other 2 are like that. I mean, it's not worth it. What do we have? You know what? Hey, hold on a second. I just saw something cool, and I know where it is because I just saw it. So let me run and grab it. Yeah, I just saw this yesterday. This is cool. This is like a super long Futaba servo arm. What can we? Let's check some stuff out. Most of these, like your power, yeah. That's what we're going to check out. We're going to check out that Power HD. That should have Futaba spline. Put that on there. And let's see how this thing wants to act with 7.4 volts. Let's check it out. Went right to whatever position. Now this thing, you can have it manual to where it reacts to you turning the knob. You can have it to neutral where it centers it. I'm going to hit the button. It's going to center it. That's where its center is. And if I hit it one more time, it's going to sweep back and forth. But I don't want to do that yet. Actually, I got a button back around to manual. All right, so, and a sweep is a good thing to check. All right, real quick before we do that. So let's go ahead and do some manual here. I'll tell you what. A little bit of crackling, right? You hear that little bit of, but that thing is, it goes where, oh, yeah, a little bit of shaky. Yeah, see it? Now that also, hold on a second. This, sometimes it'll do that with the servo tester and not with the radio. So don't count it out yet. Let me go ahead and throw it on sweep. And you can kind of see. That's pretty smooth. I think that thing I found was that's like at the end of the potentiometer here. It's got a little thingy. Really what I like to do, it's been a while since I messed with this thing. The sweep is where you go to test. You want a good, smooth, go back, start, stop. That's not looking bad at all. And again, that's 7.4 volt on a servo that I do not believe is rated for it. Now, it could, you try to run it, it could blow up. Do not take this as me saying to run LiPo batteries on servos that are not rated for it. No. Do not do it. But I'm going to. Let me show you this. Now, my friends, oh man, these are legends, right? Well, the 645 is your classic, right? These are the legends, the Airtronics, the Rock Crushers, Rock Crusher High Torque, Rock Crusher High Speed. These are legends. And I tell you what, certainly, these are old. These are late 90s, maybe right around 2000. 6 volt, look at that. 6 volts, 0.07 seconds at 6 volts. Watch this. This is going to blow your friggin' mind. And I would run these things at 7.4 volts all day. I would not worry about it. Do not do it. Do not take this as me saying to run your servos high voltage. Don't do it. But I have confidence in these servos. Check out the speed on this thing. Now, you can't really, you can't move I can't move my hand fast enough to, and it stops dead wherever you stop. Oh, that very end has a little thingy. Anyways, do the sweep. Nice and smooth. All right, enough of that. I got a little carried away there. While we have these out, now these are the best of the series. These are the ones with the metal cases, right? These are the high end of these Airtronic servo series. But the 943 series is what I call them. The 94357, 94358, 94359, 94360, 94361, 94362. All right, so 94357 to 62. So it's 5, 7, 8, 9, 60, six servos, 1 and 2. They are all amazing servos. Let me take this off here. Absolute legends, the entire lot of them. But they kind of vary. Some have all metal gears, but no metal case. It's like they go in sets, right? Yeah. So it's kind of like this. There's 6 of them. So they go in sets. The first 2 are the lower end with the one plastic gear. And then the second 2 are the ones with all metal gears, but still a plastic case. Then these are the top 2 with the all metal gears and the metal cases. That's how it goes. Let me put that back in there. But all of them, incredible servos. That 94358, I used to have like 5 of those, and I wish I still had every single last one. An incredible, absolute classic servo. I tell you what, and I'm going to move on here in just a second. I'm sorry. I read a lot of my old RC car action magazines, right? And there are some that will have race results, and it'll be listed, obviously the name of the person, right? And it'll show their chassis, their engine, what fuel they ran, what radio they use, and some would show what servo they used. And literally, you could go down the line, and it was like 94358, 94358, 943, like out of 20, top 20, maybe 5 of them would be something else. It'd just be a sea of 94358s. In its day, it was the baddest on the block, and everyone ran it, had to have it. All right, I'm done with the Airtronics. I love Airtronic servos. I love high-techs now, that's what I run, but I've had a love affair with Airtronics for a long time. KO Propo servos. That is the RSX Power. This is the one that's still good. I had them both in a vehicle, and I messed up. I made a mistake. I did. And I burnt one up. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and tell you what I did. If it can save one other servo, it's worth it. I forgot to turn it off. I was running 2 different vehicles, right? I shut the one off, forgot to turn the power switch off. I left the power switch on. So then when I went on my radio and changed my radio to the other car, that car went into failsafe mode because its radio was disconnected. What happened in failsafe mode, and I've also fixed this since then, I do not put brake on failsafe. I put my failsafes to neutral because it was set, failsafe was set with brakes, so it just sat there. Not this one, this is the one that's still good. That other legendary KO Propo RSX Power, these are bad mofos. These were like some of the very first. These are old. These are vintage. These are some of the very first high voltage, incredible power. These literally have pretty much everything that those do. Literally, this thing's like 28 kilograms, maybe even faster. I mean, it's got it all. And this was 20 freaking years ago. And high voltage. Bad mofos these are. Hey, what the heck am I talking about? So the other one, this is the good one. The other one was sitting in that car. It was on throttle and brake. Just holding that brake for dear life, right? While I'm off gallivanting and running another car, having a blast on the track, that awesome RSX Power Servo was just sitting in that car, holding on to that brake for everything it had for, 10, 15 minutes? I don't know how long it lasted. It lasted as long as it could, and it died right there, moment of silence for it. And, things happen and you have to move on. We are survived by one remaining RSX Power. I keep it in my bag here as it is my backup servo now. If one craps the bed on me, this is there ready to save the day. And what else do I have in here? This frickin' thing. Spring RC. Anyone ever tried any of these Spring RC servos? This is a low profile servo. See, it's pretty short there. And yes, this video is going to be over an hour long. Sorry. But we're having a good rap, right? We're rapping today. Spring RC SM S4488MV. Freaking long name. Very incredibly fast. This thing is supersonic fast and pretty strong. But had an issue. I think this is one that just, oh, yeah. I got it now. I remember. It's rated for high voltage, but it won't do it. 7.4 volts makes it glitches out on 7.4 volts, but runs beautiful, and still the hypersonic speed that it is still is darn fast on 6 volt. So that's the deal on that. All right, I'm going to try to move quicker. I know this video is getting long. Whatever the heck this is a super cheapo something or other. Servo. It just says servo. KS100 cheapo. There is your, now that, just like with engines, right? You could get an engine and, oh, that SH made that engine, right? It's GSB01, but I know that engine was made by SH, right? Same with this. You could say, oh, okay, that's an HPI SX1 servo, right? But who made it, right? That's the question. Who made it? We just went over this, right? That's an Airtronics servo, because that is the uh, red, blue, and black that is on Airtronics servos, the HPI SX1. Oh man, don't you love? Now this is referred to as, is it English? Where it's bad translated, right? It's poorly translated text, right? I do not know what they were going for with this, but they labeled this MG995 servo the lofty ambition. And I tell you what, you know what? Actually, I believe they named this thing exactly properly because it has some very lofty ambitions. They give it some very high torque and speed numbers, and it does not go anywhere near either of them. The lofty ambition MG995 servo. A brand we have yet to see, and another color scheme, red, brown, and orange on a JR servo. That is a JR NES 8101 servo. Made in Japan. JR Propo, by the way. KR Propo, JR Propo. Propo proportional. The 313WP. Is it waterproof? Water resistant? Is that what they're trying to say with the WP? Not really sure. What did this come in? These came in, I don't think now that is that brown? Yeah, that looks, there's that JR servo. That's the same color scheme, right? Orange, red, and brown. I do not believe that is a JR servo. It might be, but I do not believe that it is. The 313 WP, high torque servo WP, came in something. I do not remember what. Another HPI SX1. The Ace RC, aka Associated. You would see these same exact servo, same plate, same everything, except for instead of Ace RC, it's Associated. I believe that the Ace RCs come in the Thunder Tiger vehicles, right? So, boy, I'm congested. You have sister vehicles, right? Such as the Associated MGT and the Thunder Tiger MTA4, right? The Associated one would have Associated servos, and the Thunder Tiger one would have the Ace RC servos. That's the throttle. Right there, the 94162, not in the 943 line, which is where all the baddies are, but still a very good servo. This, I believe, 94162, I believe, is a very fast one. Not positive. Another FPS 148. We already looked at one of those. We looked at an SGS 311. I was doing two at the same time with the centering thing I was doing. The tape's still on there. I made, as you can see, It is a Futaba. How did I know? You know what? I think the plate was damaged. Something, I don't know. I don't remember how I knew that this was precisely a 9350. I believe I had the plate, but for some reason I couldn't put it back on. It was damaged. It looked too bad. So the plate was gone. Nothing there. So I cut out some little tiny 9350 and I believe made the Futaba on my P-Touch on the little tiny font. And so at least I know that that is a Futaba 9350. That's a decent servo, right? Metal Gears. That's not a low end. It's not a high end either. Sort of mid-level-ish, but pretty darn good. Futaba 9350. Another nothing on that one. Another ASRC 1903 MG. So just like with the Associated, you would have, it would come with a pair of 1903s on throttle and steering, but they wouldn't be, where the heck did that thing go? It just disappeared. They wouldn't be identical. One would have metal gears, and it would proudly say that right there. So you got standard S1903 and then the S1903 MG. All right, we're almost done. What do we have in here? I know what's in here. A pair of the XTM X175s. There's a couple different of these XTM servos. I believe the Mammoth came with some of these. I don't believe the XLB did. It possibly did. But some of the XTM vehicles came with these. Blue, very unique. I always love different stuff. I love different stuff. X175 XTM servos there. These are, I believe, fairly strong. They're Metal Gears, not very fast. I believe. There's another one with a longer name. It's like, it's got like 6 or 7 digits in it, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. All right. And Habayao H101, as opposed to the other OFNA one, right? We saw an OFNA one earlier, the HX0001. I would assume that those are probably the exact same servo, if not very, very similar. All right. What do we have to end it with? Nothing when we just sat down. All right. So, boy, that was an hour and 3 minutes. Holy crap. I know I did a little bit of dawdling in the beginning, but we spent plenty of time on servos, and I got plenty of mess to clean up here. But all for the love of Nitro, for the love of my viewers. Love y'all. Appreciate everything. Again, please like and subscribe. Throw that one, a little bonus one at the end there for you. And we'll see you again very soon with some more Nitro. Have a great day.